Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be doing a 600-point Starhawk build, and it's going to be a triple Starhawk build for Star Wars Armada. It's 2022. We're doing more of a focus on 600-point stuff this year in light of the fact that we haven't had a whole lot of new stuff, and well, we did a while back, but we're kind of in a little bit of a dry spell right now, so this is a perfect opportunity to do more 600-point games, 600-point lists, and expand a little bit more on the different formats and sector fleet and stuff that it also exists in addition to the standard 400-point games. If you guys are new here to the channel, we are giving away a lightsaber still, so there's plenty of time left to enter to win that. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. Plus, I'd love to have you join our Discord and continue the discussion over in Discord. We have a great family-friendly Discord. There's links in the video description below, so check those out. There's also links for social media if you want to follow me there, or Patreon and all that kind of great stuff. So check out all the links that are down in the description below, but we'd love to have you join our Discord and keep the discussion going there. So why Starhawks? Well, 600 points is a fun format where it's just the normal game's 400, so we kick it up to 600 and it opens some new doors, some things that you couldn't normally do in a 400-point game. My last 600-point build was to do a full Executor Super Star Destroyer, which you can't normally do in 400 points. And I think the game should be played at different point levels from time to time. Certainly not as your main way of playing, but since it's 2022 and we're in that dry spell, it's a great opportunity to kind of explore some new options. So for Starhawks, at the Battle of Jakku, there were 3 Starhawks, and of course there are 3 Starhawk titles, and of course that's something that you cannot run in 400 points. You can't fit 3 Starhawks in a 400-point list. That's just the way it is. So I thought, wouldn't it be a great opportunity to run a triple Starhawk build at a 600-point list, and lo and behold, you can do it. And so we're going to do that. It may not be the most winningest list ever, or might actually be incredibly effective. And so this is, I'm going to put some of my thought process behind this beautiful ship. I don't even actually have 3 of them. I don't think there's too many people out there that do have 3. I think this would be one of those deals where you had to borrow one. Because I'd have to borrow one if I wanted to play this one. But here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the build. I'm using Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder today, as I often do. It's a fantastic fleet builder, and I will put a link to it in the description below. But I am going to start off with our flagship, which is going to be a Starhawk Class 2, or Mark II. And of course, this one is going to be the Unity. I'm going to use all 3 titles, by the way, and they'll all be built differently. Won't be maxing any of them out, though, because I do want some points for squadrons, and of course, 3 Starhawks, but I need some points for squadrons too. So of course, you can't do that in 400 points. But we're going to run the Unity here because this is the only title we can put on the Mark II. It's going to give us an extra redirect token, which is a really good defense token to get. But it also gives you some squadron attack bonuses. So if you are going after squadrons, as long as they're not. If their defender is engaged with a friendly squadron without the heavy keyword, you can re-roll a die. So basically, you want the defender to be the defending squadron to be engaged with a squadron that's not heavy. So no problem. I'm not going to put any heavy squadrons in this list. I'll use all non-heavy squadrons, and that's going to, of course, make sure that this will work as long as I can get them engaged. Now, the whole build doesn't swing on this, so I don't have to mass squadrons, but I do need some. Or I would like some, plus you probably want some. So yeah, the Starhawk, the Unity is going to definitely have that going. I'm going to put also linked turbo laser towers on this one. It's just an all-around good card. It's also good to have with any ship that has a red flak, because even if they're not engaged, I still get a reroll there as well. But in this case, I could potentially reroll both, which is nice. Plus, if I use the linked turbo laser towers special ability and add some dice to an attack, then of course I still get a reroll from linked turbo lasers, but also get a reroll from Unity if they're engaged. So it kind of factors in well with itself. I'll put my commander on here, and I am going to go with a gate. Since I'm going a little bit thematic, because I want to sort of do a little bit of what was at the Battle of Jakku, I want a gate on the Unity, and I feel like that's just a good thing to have. She's just, this will be the flagship. It'll be, she'll be helping it stay alive. As you do often with a gate, I'm going to put Walix Blissix on this ship. He is going to let us get a discarded defense token back. It's going to give us a lot of defense, and that's one of the things that the Starhawks, because they don't have a defensive retrofit, they need some help to, well, they don't really need it, but you kind of want them to have a little bit of help at least. You don't want them to just, because they can go down with concentrated fire. And ultimately, I'd kind of like to not lose my flagship, but I also would kind of like to not lose any of the Starhawks. And that's kind of, I think, the goal of this one is to, if I can survive the battle without losing any of the 3 Starhawks. I might lose some squadrons, but I'm hoping to keep the Starhawks alive. So with that in mind, I will put point defense ion cannons on here. This is one of the newer upgrades that came with some of the Wave 10 Clone Wars ships. Point defense ion cannons is going to give us force us to basically make the defender reroll a die when they're attacking us at close range. This is going to be good against enemy squadrons, really good against enemy squadrons, by the way. But also it's going to be good if we happen to get any black dice ships coming up on us and at close range. So that's kind of us. It's kind of a mid range build. We don't have every upgrade slot filled, but I'm going to have 2 more Starhawks, so we're going to be okay with that. I'm going to put another Starhawk on here, and the other 2 are going to be Mark 1s because the other titles can go on the Mark 1s. So I'll start off first. We're going to go with Concord. This is going to give us an extra salvo. Salvo is certainly going to be nice. But the interesting thing about this one is that when defending, if your speed is 0, you can still spend a defense token. So this is going to be a great opportunity for the Magnite Crystal Tractor Beam Array. Now, it's an expensive upgrade. It's an expensive super weapon. We could put it on all of the ships, but I'm just going to put it on this one. All right, because it's 10 points. And if I'm trying to do the thing, right, if the thing that the Starhawks can do, like they're, other than just being huge, magnificently large and hard to kill battleships, they also can force another ship to speed 0, which is, something that is not really done very much in this game. It's something that everybody kind of wants to be able to do, but very, very, very few situations actually allow that to really happen. And this is one where it can happen. Of course, you have to be at speed 0 yourself to do that, so it's a huge risk, but Concord mitigates that risk, and of course at no small cost, because you're adding 22 points to your already incredibly expensive ship just to make that happen. So what other things can we do to kind of work with that? We're going to be at speed 0. We're going to be getting shot. So I wanted to put Lando on this one because in case I do, get that nasty speed 0, and I need maybe a little bit more than just to be able to brace it or something like that. Lando can definitely help, because even if I'm at speed 0 or you accuracy it or whatever, I still get some help with forcing rerolls there. So if I want to do the thing, I'm going to survive that way. I'm going to put another officer on here, and this is something that I get tempted sometimes to put on every single ship. It's a really good one to put on a Starhawk. And it's the engineering captain. I'm going to put an engineering captain on this one, so that this way I have the option to do an engineering command anytime I need to, but I don't ever have to actually plan an engineering command. So this is just a great option to be up close and personal, and have the survivability when you need it. If you get that nasty crit, you can just be like, oh, this is going to be engineering. Plus, with 4 command, you're really at risk of a certain like dial hacking tools. Cham Syndulla once threatened my Starhawks, but I had an engineering captain on board, so now I'm always going to take some kind of dial shenanigans mitigation. So I think that's important, but it also means that I can plan other things. I can plan nav a lot more. I can plan squadron commands a lot more. I can do a concentrate fire if I need to, although these particular Starhawks don't really need concentrate fire. Now, I'm going to put one more upgrade on this one, and it's an upgrade that's going to take advantage of being low speeds 1 or 0, which I'll often be with this ship, and it's going to be quad battery turrets. Quad battery turrets is giving me an extra blue die on every attack, so hey, that's going to be awesome. If they just have to be going faster than us. Now, if I hit somebody with the Magnite, they're going to be at speed 0 with me, I won't get it. But if I also want to shoot someone else, they're probably going to be higher than speed 0. So if I'm stuck at speed 0, I've got the quad battery turrets are going to be doing a great job. So I think that's kind of a really good upgrade to put with Concord. Next, and for the final one, I'm going to do the Amity, which is going to be also on a Starhawk Mark 1. The Amity is going to give us the evade. And when an enemy ship overlaps you, you may deal 1 additional face-down damage card to both ships. It's awkward that this one gets the evade, though, because usually you'd think the evade is supposed to be something that you're going to be putting on a ship that wants to stay at long range. But here's a ship that kind of wants to get up close and personal to make sure that they're forcing the bump. So one of the things that I'm going to put on this is hardened bulkheads. To kind of reduce that. So if I bump somebody, if I'm getting in there, I'm bumping, then at least I'm not taking as much damage. And if your people are bumping you, there's a pretty good chance you're also going to be bumping other people. So I feel like there's good synergy there. They won't both trigger at the same time, but they'll probably trigger within the same round, because usually when one ship bumps, another ship bumps too. There's a little bit of domino affecting that goes on in there. And I think it makes sense. I'm going to duplicate 1 upgrade from the Mark 1. I'm going to put the engineering captain here because, hey, I'm going to be taking damage. I don't think I really want to die. Again, I did say I want these guys to stay alive, and this dude is a little bit less survivable than the other two, right? I feel like the Mark 1 has Lando and in the engineering captain, he's got some things to help him stay alive, and the Starhawk Mark 2 has Walix Blissix and Kirsta Agate and the point defense, so a lot of survivability there. So I need the engineering captain here to help me stay alive, and hopefully the hardened bulkheads will help me reduce some of that damage. But I'm going to have some firepower on this one. We're going to put XI7 on this one. We'll be close enough. The idea is this one is probably going to be the fastest one, the one kind of going farthest forward. And is hopefully going to be close enough to enemy ships to roll all of its dice. And so XI7 is a good one if I'm going to have a really big dice pool. I don't want to necessarily have you redirecting all of it. And I'm going to put leading shots. If I want to get close enough, I'm always going to have that blue die. There's a blue die in the front and both sides. So yeah, I get my rerolls, and I can make sure that I don't have to worry about you redirecting very much. So, and that should almost always work. The idea here is this ship wants to be close and forcing rams and doing rams and ramrod, car ramrod. Say it. Say car ramrod. No. All right. I just said we were going to have some squadrons. I don't have a whole lot of points left, because I brought myself up to 542 right here. Now the squadrons we're going to be running is a small but moderately effective bunch of squadrons. I'm going to running some X-Wings. X-Wings are generally all-purpose, and they're really good squadrons. They got 5 hull, they're speed 3, they have bomber, they have a red die, which can get really, really lucky, and they have 4 blue dice against other squadrons, so they're pretty good. I'm going to run 3 of those, and I'm going to run a classic, an oldie, but still a goodie, Jan Ors. Jan Ors is, intel was changed. It's just going to give nearby squadrons grit. And so that's still nice, but she's got counter. But the real reason I have Jan here is she's going to give all three of those generic X-Wings. She's going to turn them kind of into aces, because they get to use her brace tokens, and they can't be accuracyed either. So it's going to help those X-Wings stay alive a lot longer, and that's going to do a couple of things. Like, that's going to help slow down enemy squadrons that are coming in to take care of my Starhawks, but it's also going to help trigger the Unity effect, which is also good. And it's just good to have some squadrons. And then with the four squadrons there, we've got some enough ability for them to be triggered. If we lose one, any Starhawk can still activate 3. So if we lose one, no problem. We're good there. So yeah, that's the build. We have some. Let's do objectives here, because 600 points. I think you're still going to do objectives, but the game is all these objectives are kind of balanced for 400 points, but it's not that game breaking for 600. So it's still worth doing this whole this part of the game as well. And I'm going to go with just advanced gunnery here. I think it'd be real fun to have Starhawks shooting twice, so out of the same mark. I think that could be really fun. I think that would be exceptionally damaging for one of these ships that's going to be want to be up close and personal, like maybe the Amity. But then again, I might want it on the Mark II, because of the fact that it's got the bigger range and it's probably the most defensible. And this way, it's not going to die and give my opponent a lot of extra points. So, and I don't think my opponent will get that much benefit out of being able to shoot 2 different Starhawks, since they all have salvo too. That's like, yeah, shoot us both. We'll shoot you back. So that'd be kind of fun. For our yellow, I'm going to go with fire lanes. I don't have that much deployment in a 600-point list with this one, so I want to make sure I know where the battle's going to take place. So that's a good one. And for blue, in this case, I'm going to go with dangerous territory. I feel like these guys aren't very movable, and I may just end up bumping. I may just have to, or rather not wanting to bump myself, I may have to run over asteroids. And so a dangerous territory is going to be a fun one to just, for the huge benefit of I just get to ignore asteroids and debris clouds. And I think that's huge for my ships. So I really like that, and I could just fly over them and just say like I don't care, no problem. These are our own homegrown asteroids. They know, or like the shirt says, asteroids do not concern me. So there we go. So that's the triple Starhawk list. Let me know what you guys think. That's gonna do it for this video. I like the whole 600 point format. Let me know if you guys have played any 600 point games or anything larger than 400 points lately, because I think it's a fun kind of breakaway from the norm. I'll talk to you guys soon. A big thanks to all of my patrons. You guys definitely help make this channel possible, so thank you for your continued support. And as always, when building a giant spaceship, make sure you put the artificial gravity generators in there, because otherwise all of sci-fi has been lying to us all along.